Hello, I'm Alan. This is a new one for me today. I have never ever made matcha. So it's a little vulnerable, very anxious. So the only reason I'm doing this right now is because this came in the mail. I joined the virtual World Tea Summit last week or the week before. And apparently signing up, they shipped out some free tea. This is from Matcha Organic Japan. It's a brand new company over there. From what I'm understanding, that it's almost like this conglomerate of farmers and processors, and it's all kind of a tight-knit unit that they're putting together. And this is essentially batch 1. The very first grindings. Yep. Organic Matcha number 1. So it's an organic co-op? I'm not quite sure. But essentially organic, that they're kind of all assembling into this tight-knit, enclosed community and setup. And this is their first release. So, again, I was kind of waiting almost years before I would ever get to this and dare venture into that world, but getting it in the mail kind of pushed the, well, not pushed, but like invited it for me to experience it sooner. So I already had a chawan aka the tea bowl, anticipating that I would get into it someday. So I already had this, but I did not have a whisk yet. So I had to pick that up. And then I realized I forgot to get a scoop, but I have one of these tea display dispenser things, and I think that works. I mean, it's made out of bamboo and it can pick up stuff, so hopefully we will discover. So I watch a lot of the tea YouTube channels, and so I've seen a bunch of people making it. So first step, warm the teaware. So I've got this heating up at 80 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to heat up the bowl and also kind of wet the tines. Get those soft, I guess. Although as I'm feeling it, it's already kind of soft. But we'll see. I don't know how much is needed. We'll just kind of... set that in there. I don't know how long it needs. Maybe try to get the sides. In some of the videos, they would like pull it up, and I guess what they're doing is inspecting it. Make sure all the tines aren't broken or anything. Oh, it's brand new. I just barely popped it open. So I hope none are broken. I think that's about it. I actually have never even tried the motion. I think you just go forward and backward. Interesting. Alright. Let's try this for real. That should be nice and warm. Ooh. Dump that out. Okay. And details about this. Doesn't tell me what varietal is. Cultivar. It just says it was manufactured, so I'm assuming that's when they ground it on September 1st. Then just says ingredients, organic green tea, so not much. Distributor, Matcha Organic Japan, Shizuoka. So not a whole lot of details, at least on the packaging. So let's crack this open. My very first matcha ever. At least making it. I'm sure maybe if I've had a sweet that had matcha in it or something at some point in time, but Ooh. Ooh. I don't want to breathe too deeply because it's dust. But it's got very nice, very light, grassy alfalfa, kind of an umami, similar to Gyokuro, which makes sense since it is essentially Gyokuro is shaded. They're both shaded, and Gyokuro is just shaded longer and also not turned into powder. So it just stays as a tencha, the pre-powdered. So let's see how this works. All right, so it holds pretty good. I think maybe that's a big scoop. I don't know, but we'll see. Usually they do 2, so I'll do 2. I don't have a strainer to kind of sift it. Oh, so I guess what I would do then is chop it up with this. Make sure there's no lumps. There's a few, but it's probably just due to settling from shipping across from Japan. That might be a lot. That's considering I'm gonna drink it leaves and all. Whew, I might be buzzed. All right. So, water. How much? I have no idea. So this has a couple of, you can't see it from there, maybe, no, you won't be able to, but essentially it's got a couple of different levels of lines. So there's like this tiny pocket down in here, and then there's a little ledge right about here. So there's a dip, and then it comes up, and then right here as it comes up again. So I'm gonna guess it probably won't need to go higher than that, but we'll see. This is, as I said, vulnerable, first time, never done this, just basing it off of videos. Oh, that is not the whisk. Okay. All right. Ooh, that smells really good. Nice and umami, like Gyokuro. Oh, so you don't swirl it. You just go like this. You're also not supposed to scrape the bottom, but it's kind of sticking. I'm not sure how. You just... Is it the friction of going fast? Like, how do I know if it's all used? Wow, it's actually... Okay, cool. So without scraping the bottom, just whisking it around is enough to help get it all... so if you picture it, maybe the water's about this thick, and I'm lowering the whisk about halfway, so it's not scraping the bottom. Just kind of about halfway floating in that top half of it. And it actually... foamed up really nicely. So if I kind of pop the bigger bubbles, I have no idea if this is gonna show. No idea at all. I'm just guessing because I don't see. But if you're able to see the bubbles in the foam, maybe I'll stand up so I can kind of see better. But that actually foamed up pretty well. Okay, I don't know if I drink from the face side or the back. I haven't paid that much attention, but cheers. Wow! That is potent. Oh my goodness. It's very thick. I probably used a lot of leaves. I'm gonna dilute it a little bit. I might have used really big scoops. That is intense. Okay, I'm just gonna go a little bit. Kind of incorporate the new set of water. I've seen some people, they just use the wrist, and then some they use the arm. Or so they either pivot at the elbow or they pivot at the... So that's elbow pivot versus wrist pivot. Okay, that should be all incorporated. Ooh, nice and gorgeous. Oh wow, that's cool. So before, these were like a tight curl, and now it's just kind of bent over. There's no longer a curl. So they unfurled a little bit. I'll try this again. Cheers. Whew. That is potent. That for sure. Texture, because the leaves are in there, I'm not feeling gritty, so it's all dissolved, or at least softened. I don't think you'd like dissolve it because it's a physical leaf, but it's very thick because, I mean, the physical leaf powder is suspended in the water. But like I said, it's not gritty. The aroma is nice. Hard to describe. It's not quite like Gyokuro. So how do I say? Maybe it's less grassy, more floral, less grassy. There's some good floral notes on that. Very thick, not palatable, palpable. Very thick texture, very lingering coating. There's kind of a drying effect, not intense, but it is drying. That could be because it's organic, which at least with the Gyokuros, or I guess maybe I'll try repronouncing that. I've heard it, when I listen to the Japanese say it, I think it's Gyokuro. So Gyokuro. Two emphases. You emphasize it twice. Gyokuro instead of Gyokuro. But anyway, Gyokuro. I'm forgetting. Oh, the organic Gyokuro that I've had tends to be drier. AKA maybe that means more astringent than conventionally made. So there's some dryness to this. I don't know if that's a feature of matcha in general or just a feature of organic matcha, but quite intense though. That is a in your face, but also very, I don't know. It's not repulsive intense. Maybe the first one where it was like, whew, I've never had it before, and it was leaf to water ratio was higher. Very floral though. I'm getting a lot of kind of what kind of flowers? I guess they would call it orchid, but I've never smelled an orchid or I should say, I've never smelled an orchid that had an aroma. So the closest I could probably say, definitely exotic, more of a plumeria, but not quite as intense as a plumeria, but those kind of from Hawaii that they make the leis out of. I don't know if I dare drink this whole thing right now. There's still a lot in there. I mean, those were big scoops. Yeah, I'll kind of nurse it over the next little bit. I don't want to chug it, but... Alright, well, thanks for joining this video. The very unplanned sort of the universe saying, here, time to have matcha. It brought it to me in the mail, and I opened it up. I was like, I don't know who this company is. How did they get my address? I didn't pay for this. And then just realized it was part of joining the virtual tea, Virtual World Tea Summit, which was early in October. So, anyway, cheers. While intimidating at first, it was not that hard. It was actually very easy to froth. Tasted good. But yeah, so I'll talk to you later. And actually, little tea pun, I'll tea you later. Alright, see you guys. Have a good day. Take care.